Hi guys, Miyake here. I am going to do a quick tutorial on request on how to do animations with furniture. Like I said, this was on request. This tutorial is assuming that you already know how to make furniture and you already know how to do how to skin it and everything, and you know how to do animations. The only problem is you don't know how to put the two together. So that's what this is tutorial is assuming. So this right here is something that I am working for IMVU that they're planning on using later on. But this particular piece of furniture has several animations. There's several sitting spots where avatars will sit and drink their drinks, and then I have a couple of hosts over here where they will drink coffee. And right now I'm just going to show you the host number 1. She's already animated, as you can see, breathing, drinking her coffee. Now, when you have your when you're setting up your furniture, you want to make sure that you make separate bones for everything that's going to move. So right here, the coffee mug has its own node right here that the coffee mug is attached to. So if I click on the mesh here, see the skin. This is coffee bone number 1. So the coffee is just attached to this bone, and this node is obviously attached to the root, which is down here. So all my beverages are like that. Okay. I like using the bitmap, the biped model for IMVU because there's a lot of extra features that go along with it. Like I can import my other animations that I use for different programs into the same into the model, and I can reuse the animations. And then there's a mixer, and you can mix the animations. I think it's quite handy, so I quite enjoy it. It also has, if you go over to the keyframing tools, you'll see it has anchoring for the hands and feet. I like to use that a lot, especially for the feet. And then this one I used it on the hands, so because they're supposed to be static, if she's breathing, her hands don't slide around with her chest when it moves. So different poses, and then this one. So we're going to focus on the drinking animation. And I exported each of these different poses as different files so they can be looped. I made them loopable. But anyway, so oops, it's gone. So as you can see that when the hand grabs the mug at 220, I have the mug keyed there, and then the mug, then when I move them, I grab both the hand and the mug, and I move them together. So they move together, and they get keyed together. Auto key is always on, so whenever I move it, it automatically adds a keyframe down at the animation line down here. Another thing that you need to worry about when you're doing, like, if you're working on drinking animations, you got to realize that the avatar head that you get to use versus the avatar heads that are most frequently used nowadays in IMVU are much smaller. So you have to make sure that you have the object that they're drinking much closer to their face. I like to use the skeleton, the skull bone, as my point of reference, and I usually I give it a couple usually towards the back of her teeth here. It's like a really good spot to have things touch their mouths. Obviously, you can go back in and tweak it every time you upload the file into IMVU, but that's what works best for me. Another important thing when you are lining up the avatars with their nodes, see, she is on, that's the handle. This is, you have to rename all the nodes instead of sitting and standing. If you have it seat 01 dot standing, then the avatar will just stand. Same with sitting, then the avatar will just sit. If you want to turn the node into a custom animated node, you have to rename the node. So I have host 1, and this one is host 2. And over the guest nodes are over here. So this is host 1, and it's seat 98. There's a reason why I'm using really high seat numbers. It doesn't matter what seat numbers you use. You can use up to 99 seats for your furniture, but I'm planning on using this for something else. That's why I have odd numbers for my seats. But anyway, when you're working with your rigged model, your rigged animation model, you have to make sure that their root is aligned with the node that you are working with. So the best option is to use the align button, and then make sure that you have the orientation and the align checked. Hit apply, and that'll line it up. And you have to do that before you export the animation. Otherwise, when you upload it into IMVU, the animation will be way off someplace else. Very important. So you have everything animated. It looks good in 3D Studio Max. You want to export your animation file as normal. So I have this one as host 1 drink. Make sure all your bones are checked that are going to be animated. Displacement is 0, and you have your frames that you're going to export. So this is 200 to 299. Finish that. It's export. So after you do that, you want to export the animation file for the furniture. So then you want to click on the root, hit export, and I have a different name for that. It's furniture drink. And make sure when it's asking for the skeleton file that you click on the bone structure that you had exported earlier, the skeletal structure that you exported earlier. And it's best that you only export the bone that's animating. So you uncheck everything except for the one bone, which is, for me, is the coffee bone number 1. And then you pick same thing, same number of animation frames, same displacement. Now I can't, for some reason, every time I do that, 3D Studio Max crashes on me, so I don't do that anymore, and I just go in and edit the actual XAF file, because you don't want to have all the bones moving or animating that you don't want to move, just the one. So, but alright, so now that you have everything exported, you're going to go into IMVU, and I see I already have her sitting there. But you go into IMVU, and you add stance dot the seat name that you named that particular node. This seat is host 1, so I have stance dot host 1, and then you add your obviously you add your animation files. So I have one drink animation, and I have idle animations. And the reason I have so many is because I want her to sit for a while before she drinks. So I don't want her to drink constantly, so I have them all set up. And then for to add the furniture animation, because if you just add this and add the avatar animation file, the furniture won't animate. You have to add a second action, and this one you have to call stance dot the node that you have it named minus host 1 dash the seat number. See, stance dot host 1 dash seat 98. You have to go back into your file and look at it if you don't remember. But this is the node that she has to sit on to animate that particular file. So this is seat 98 node host 01. So stance dot host 01 dash seat 98. That is how you activate the furniture animation. And this animation will only work when she's sitting on this node. I'll give her a second. She will drink her coffee. He's going to drink his bubble tea first. I didn't bother doing any morph animations on the face because a lot of avatar heads don't do the pucker animation anyway. Oh, there she goes. Look at that. See? Lines up nicely with her face. Alright, so that is the raw and down and dirty of how to combine your avatar animation with your furniture animation. Hopefully it helped you a little bit. Like I said, this is assuming that you already know a lot about meshing and furniture animating and skinning and all that stuff, but you're just having trouble combining the two. Alright, thanks for watching.